It was just past midnight when the motion sensor light clicked on. I heard it from the living room, a soft, sudden click, followed by the low hum of the floodlight pouring across the backyard. I paused, half sprawled across the couch, a book open and forgotten in my lap. Probably a raccoon again. They were regular visitors, always dragging empty flower pots across the porch or knocking over the trash can despite the bungee cord I'd wrapped around the lid. Just last week, one of them had pawed at the back door for nearly a full minute, like it expected someone to let it in. But tonight, something felt off. The house was still, too still. No wind outside, no creaks inside. The silence sat heavy, like a held breath. A quiet that noticed you. I stood and made my way to the kitchen, carefully stepping around the floorboards I knew would creak. The motion light cast its sterile glow across the backyard, illuminating the grass in a pale wash of white. I leaned toward the window, expecting the glint of raccoon eyes and the shuffle of a ringed tail slinking off into the shadows. Instead, I saw something else. It was crouched low in the grass, just beyond the bottom porch step, about the size of a basset hound. But that's where the familiarity ended. Its skin, if that's what it was, gleamed strangely in the light, a purple sheen that shifted to bruised black as it moved. It had the posture of a frog, squat and tense, but the body was reptilian, broad-backed, narrow-limbed, with a tiny twitching tail that curled and uncurled like it had a mind of its own. Then I saw the eyes, 7 of them, wet, glinting, unblinking. They were spaced across its face in a pattern that made my skin crawl, like someone had tried to imitate a living thing but had no idea how the pieces were supposed to fit. The eyes shimmered like glass, catching the light in tiny, splintered reflections of silver and blue. I stood frozen, my breath caught in my chest. Then it made a sound, a thick, distorted croak, like a frog underwater, except it wasn't just one noise. It was layered, echoing. A weird, almost digital stutter to it, like it was trying to mimic the sound instead of creating it naturally. And then it stopped. I took one slow step back. It moved. It didn't crawl or walk. It leapt. A sudden tight burst of muscle. Not far, just a few feet, but it was fast, precise, smooth. A leap-like run. And it did it again. Closer. I slapped the light switch off by instinct, plunging the yard into darkness. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then the croaking started again, softer this time. Closer. Almost like a laugh. That's when I heard the thump. From above. My whole body jerked. The sound had come from the roof, heavy, deliberate. The ceiling creaked. A faint sprinkle of dust drifted down from above, like the house itself had flinched. Then came the movement. A wet shuffle, scraping sounds. A rhythmless series of thump-thump, drag, thump, circling slowly across the roof line. It moved with that same leap-like motion, unnatural, off-tempo. I could hear its limbs skitter across the shingles, dragging in short bursts between jumps. I backed away, heart pounding, and crept down the hallway, straining to follow the sound above me. It moved from the living room across the hall toward the guest bedroom. I could almost hear it breathing, uneven, labored exhales that hissed between faint, wet croaks. And then, silence. A long, perfect silence. Then a final heavy thud, a leap from the roof into the night. And it was gone. I waited, still, listening. But the quiet stayed. There were no more sounds, no croaking, no shuffling, just the house. Just me. Eventually, I started moving again. I went straight to the back door and shoved the chain lock into place, then jammed a chair beneath the knob. From there, I made a full circuit of the house, checking every window, latching every lock, even the tiny bathroom window that barely opened. My hands were trembling, but I didn't stop. Not until I was sure the house was sealed shut, every blind drawn, every curtain closed. Then I sat on the edge of the couch staring at the blank television screen, unable to bring myself to turn it on. The silence had returned, but now it felt different, and I couldn't stop wondering, what did I really see out there? Where did it come from? Why had it come here? And worst of all, would it come back?